What's going on, everybody? Jordan here. Not Jonathan, not Jason. Yes, my name is Jordan, and it's May 17th, and do you know what the 17th letter of the alphabet is? That's right, it's Q, which is exactly what we're going to talk about here. The Q team's been on one the past day or two. Lots of posts dropped, so let's get into it. We're going to start with last night, post 1394 right here, and this Anon posts a screenshot of what turns out to be the unsealed records pertaining to Anthony Weiner's case. We'll dissect this a little more in a sec, but this Anon says the source of the unsealed Weiner indictment is the Pacer Service Center. And then they say they can't link directly to it because it's only available to those with Pacer accounts, like legal professionals. But they have an idea. Let's start doing random searches using only the phrase unsealing order for 2018. I'd be very interested to see how that turns out. Q notes this and says 100% authentic. So let's take a look at that document. You can see here, United States District Court, Southern District of New York, USA versus Anthony Weiner. Upon application of the United States of America by and through assistant U.S. attorneys here, it's ordered that the search and seizure warrant and its attachment A, the laptop, which were filed under seal on September 26, 2016, be and hereby are unsealed, dated yesterday, May 16th. 100% authentic. The next post says, Schneiderman gone, proper judge in place. That was posted by an Anon. Q reaffirms that and says, impressive. So with Schneiderman out, the New York Attorney General, well, now we can get moving with some certain legal processes, like unsealing certain records. And this is an important point because so many people are asking, well, why is it taking so long? We want arrests. We want the hammer to drop. Why is it taking so long? Well, you got to understand, with not only bad actors in the FBI and DOJ, but bad judges around the country at all levels, things aren't going to be able to get moving until that is cleaned up. So now that we have proper judges in place, people that will actually not be paid off or blackmailed or whatever the case is, and do what's needed in these legal proceedings, well, we can get the ball moving, and that's what's happening. This next post, 1398, an Anon says, I know that too, talking about some certain decoding regarding the term pickle, wondering what pickle means. Q says, think pickle factory. So let's go ahead and check out what this Anon was referring to, and that is this meme right here. Somebody was trying to decode what pickle meant because you can see in this May 13th Q post, Q says, who controls elected leaders? Who do elected leaders report to? Pickle. Will Iran expose the names of corrupted officials? Pickle. So people have been wondering for a few days what pickle meant, trying to decode it and whatnot. Q says, think pickle factory. Well, some people found out that the term pickle factory is an old colloquialism, an old nickname, if you will, for the CIA. So when you take that into account, that pickle, think pickle factory, think CIA. Well, let's go back to this May 13th post. Who controls elected leaders? Who do elected leaders report to? CIA. Pickle. Will Iran expose the names of corrupted officials? CIA. Maybe saying that Iran was going to expose the names of CIA bad actors right there. So that's a little more clarity on that particular post with Q saying think pickle factory. That's what that meant there. This next post, sorry about the doubles. I don't know what's going on with QAnon Pub here. But this next post, 1400, says bomb disposal team, bombs about to blow, which means they know, they are told, controlled, both, and it's coordinated. And that's in reference to this screenshot and anonymous post right here. They just keep lying, not surprised. It's all coming soon. They won't be able to control the narrative anymore. And they're lying because this whole Crossfire Hurricane, Operation Crossfire news that's been breaking over the last day or so, what this post right here is saying, FYI, by The Last Refuge on Twitter, I suspect the silly code name Crossfire Hurricane is a load of bunk added recently for dramatic effect by the scheme team. It would likely have been in the Page and Sturzak text messages if it originated in 2016 as claimed, and it doesn't. So this whole Operation Hurricane Crossfire thing coming out totally makes sense that it's just all made up right now to throw various people off or for dramatic effect. Q is saying, well, bombs are about to blow, which means they know, they are told, or both. So they know they're lying, Anon says they just keep lying. Q saying they know they're lying. They are told to lie, as in they're controlled, or both. They're told to lie, and then they just lie upon themselves. It's all coordinated, and clowns wear masks. All these fools in public office that just keep lying and lying. No authenticity. They all have masks in front of their faces. Just lying and lying. Q posts a link right here to this saying Trump administration is going to provide records on Obama-era gun smuggling probe. So the Fast and Furious probe, basically parts of our government have been withholding documents for 6 years. It's been a 6-year-long legal battle. And in a statement issued on Wednesday, Jeff Sessions said the Justice Department is going to hand over documents pertaining to Fast and Furious, all the ones that have been kept for so long. Hey, is Sessions really just sitting on his ass? Or maybe he's actually getting some work done behind the scenes. That's probably why Q in these next posts is saying trust Sessions, trust Ray, trust Kansas, trust Horowitz, trust Huber. This is just simply a screenshot from a post made a month and a half ago of Q telling us to trust all these people. Because there's a plan. Trust the plan. Then in this next post, Q essentially continuing to reaffirm us to trust these people, that they are telling us to, that they are saying, hey, there's so much more going on than the small pieces that we are able to pick up. There's a much grander play, scheme, plan in place. Then post 1406 here, Q says the hard part for us is having to wait for the public to know what we've known for so long. There's no bigger threat to them than the public being awake and thinking for themselves. Just imagine what the white hats have had to deal with behind the scenes for not only years, but decades. You can just imagine what they know and how bad they want to get this all out. Then Q asks, why are we here? Well, they're here to simply inform the public. Or I would go as far as to say, get the public to inform themselves, which is much more important. Next post, 1407, Q says, what is the common theme when bad news is about to break against them? Stay vigilant. And the common theme is false flags. When bad news is about to break against them, there's always a mass shooting, car attack, something to that effect blamed on, quote, terrorists or some lone nut or whatever the case is. False flags. Stay vigilant for those guys. And then 1408, Q posts a link right here to this Breitbart article. Breitbart. Let me get that right. People always dog on me for my pronunciations. But this says, report, Inspector General will declare FBI, DOJ broke law in Clinton email probe. So parts of the Inspector General's researchings are coming out and coming down on the FBI and DOJ in their handling of the Clinton investigation. Referred his findings of potential criminal misconduct to Huber for possible criminal prosecution. Yes, have faith. These people will be behind bars soon, if not worse than that. Q says, God bless the United States of America. After that link, D5. D5 is in regards to the Casablanca chess match, the very famous one that Q continues to refer to. And we also had Julian Assange refer to it one time in the tweet, if you remember that. That was an interesting confirmation and link between the various groups. But anyway, D5 was one of the very last moves that was played in this chess match. I can't remember the specifics, as I think it was the third to last one. I don't remember what pieces it utilized. Maybe it was a bishop or a knight. But D5 was one of the very last moves. This signifying endgame. Now comes the pain. Right. 1409, what had to happen first? Think logically, think DOJ and FBI, think cleaning. Puzzle coming together. Like this has been continuously said in my videos, you have to have a clean DOJ and FBI. You have to have clean judges. If any little cog on this machine is not fine-tuned and well-oiled, it could pull the plug on the whole thing. That's why it's taking, quote, long. And from another angle, from another perspective, is it really taking that long? With the breadth of this, with how big this plan, this game is, I would imagine it's actually going pretty fast, right? We're going to look on this in 5, 10, 20 years, and we're really going to scratch our heads and say, holy shit, it just like blinking of an eye within, a year, year and a half, this all happened and this all was exposed. And the Great Awakening truly went exponential, went into overdrive. Different perspectives always can change your mindset. Q reaffirming this right here, number 64. Q wanted us to look at that post right here saying number 64. And what was post number 64? Well, that was Q laying out all the people in the FBI and DOJ that have been fired or removed from power. Q just saying, hey, things are moving. Trust the plan. This next post, 1411, just looks like a stringer. I don't think it was really meant for us, maybe meant for somebody looking for it on the boards for a particular operation. Not too sure. And then the rest of these, Q drops a lot of pictures. We're gonna decode, dissect here. And I think a lot of these weren't necessarily meant for us. I think they were meant for the bad actors that are very much looking at these boards along with all of us, and were simply messages for them. So let's begin here. This first one is a couple pictures, and let's check out the actual pictures here because I want to show you the particular file names on them. So these first two, these ones, one of a couple people walking, and then you can see a double-decker bus here. Obviously London has those buses, and you can see the file names. This one says fserv_London, and this one says fserv_London PS. So fserv, I would gather meaning field surveillance. These are pictures of some kind of field surveillance. Looks like they're in London, and then this one says PS. London PS. So I would gather from these first two photos that the Q team has particular operatives probably doing field surveillance of bad actors or targets and taking photos of them, and they were in London. Some people are gathering that maybe PS means public square, which could be a possibility here. But let's get into some of the other ones. These were the other ones, so you can see a couple other places. And these photos also have the same file names, fserv London PS2, fsurveillance London PS, and I would say that they're probably following some bad actors. And also we've had in the news break this here, the Operation Crossfire Hurricane that we were talking about. FBI sent Sturzock on secret mission to London before election. So this is breaking, came out yesterday, is that Peter Sturzock went to London before the election. It was 90 days before the election to try to wheel and deal, and he had everything to do in the creation of that intel document that they were trying to use to take Trump down. So I got to thinking, well, maybe the PS means Peter Sturzock. Maybe this was his trip to London and they were following him, but that doesn't necessarily make sense. You can see Q saying here with his next post, note the jackets and the time of year. So Peter Sturzock would have been in London 90 days before the election, which would have been, say, August of 2016. And in August, it would have probably been pretty warm there. We wouldn't be seeing these large winter coats that everybody's wearing in these pictures. So it's probably the winter time, these London photos. So I'm thinking maybe Peter Sturzock went to London again. Maybe there's a certain meeting that was kept secret that hasn't been made public knowledge yet, and this is Q sending a message to them saying, them being the bad actors, anyone involved in this, that they know they have everything, they have it all, right? Or this could have been somebody else, some different time. I'm just feeling like these particular pictures are messages sent to certain people that the Q team wants to send them to. And then I like this post right here, 1415, and Anon has a theory. It says those pallets, the pictures of pallets that Q's posted in recent past, those pallets are full of smartphones to be distributed to members, i.e. Hillary, Bill, Obama, John Brenner. They were special phones which the cabal thought could not be traced or monitored. The cabal needed a new way to communicate after Q exposed their Gmail draft and game forum methods. Hillary was in New Zealand, Five Eyes, not only to raise funds, but to test out the phones. And under directions of Trump, New Zealand told Hillary that the phones were good. Trolling them. The cabal worked with China's ZTE for these special phones, which is why ZTE has been in the news lately. Trump drew attention to them to send the cabal a message that he was on to them. Q reaffirms this. Great theory, great thinking there. and posts a picture of an Air China plane with a bunch of pallets out front of it. Q says, "We are everywhere, Anon." Honestly, the technology they have, I would not want to be anybody that was just mentioned here. Hillary, Bill, Obama. I wouldn't want to be anybody that's been mentioned in any Q post right now because they are watching you and listening to you. Scary stuff. For them, a lot more pictures of pallets. This particular picture has the file name is Foxconn, and Foxconn is actually a manufacturing company that manufactures a lot of phones, including iPhones and various Droid phones and whatnot. So that could be one of the implicated companies. Subtle message right there, and the file name of one of the photos. More pallets. And then the next photo we have, we have more coming up. See, this is the thing about doing these Q videos is I'll be like in the middle of them and then have more photos come up. So let's do some improv, some freestyle decoding of these ones. But anyway, we have this photo right here, 1418, Las Vegas remove. So right here we have a picture and it looks like an aerial view of the Strip, maybe even Mandalay Bay there. And I'm taking this as a possible sign that very soon these false flags will be exposed. Maybe the Las Vegas one. That's another thought on these London photos down here as well. I was thinking that maybe they have to do with the London car attack. That happened in October 2017, so that might have been cold enough in London for people to be wearing these jackets, keeping themselves warmer. Maybe this was following those actors and mercenaries, whatever, paid goons that helped pull off that terrorist attack. Possibility there. But in this photo, we have Las Vegas. I would hope that that gets exposed very soon. This next photo is an owl. And the owl says, "Guardian of the Pope, personal." Now, I don't necessarily have any idea what this means. When I see owl in combination with any of these Cabal members, I'm kind of thinking Moloch. Maybe that's what the Pope thinks his guardian is the god of child sacrifice, Moloch. Maybe that's Q saying that. Or this is a message to a personal guardian of the Pope. I don't necessarily know. That's just some thoughts when looking at this picture. And then we have this one. This I haven't seen before, in all honesty, but we're looking at it now. It's a NASA symbol on a space shuttle. Interesting. Honestly, I have no clue. But hey, if Q starts getting into some of the space program stuff, I'm more than happy to start decoding some of that, huh? Wonder where that 21 trillion's gone, right? Anyway, that's the end of this one. Message sent. End. So I think that's just saying the end of all the photos that they've wanted to throw out there, all the messages to particular people that might not even be you and I. That might be very specific eyeballs that they want on those photos to send a message to, scare the shit out of, whatever the case. And I'm sure that's happening. So that's all for this video, guys. I'll be back very soon. Thanks for watching. Peace out.